Sweetie Drops, Violet Wins, A True Love by Swedish Jump. One day when Violet wins in the park by himself, playing some of his music for a few other children who listen to his music. But there is one other pony who listened to his music, and that was Sweetie Drops. Sweetie Drops and Violet Wins has been very good friends since he moved to Ponyville about 3 years ago. Even she is not a musician herself, but she really thinks that Violet Wins is a very much talented musician. But over these last 2 years, she has been very much in love with Violet Wins, but she hasn't even told him about it, because she was afraid to tell him that has much feelings for him, and afraid that he wouldn't love her back in the same way. In fact, Violet Wins had actually dated a few other mares in town, but for most of them, didn't last that much long. But he's currently dating another mare. But what he didn't know about this, that the mare he's dating actually dating another stallion behind his back. He didn't know it at first, but until one day he saw her with the other stallion at the restaurant, and he thought that she was more interested in him, but turns out she was only using him, only dating him at the side, just as more, how to describe more like as a bag of garbage. She used him as some throwaway paper or something. She was only interested in the other stallion which she had seen 2 months before him. She was only using Violet Wins for her own purpose. When he found out about this, he told her that he would never see her again or ever talk to her because of that. And Violet Wins was very heartbroken because he thought that she loved him and he loved her. But after her betrayal of that, was only using him for her own purpose. He never thought he would never find his special song pony at all. So after that day, he stopped playing music. Even singing he used to do, all that. He lost his compassion in fire for music. For that moment, he felt empty inside. He wanted to be with some pony that loved him, not only for using him for his own purpose. When Sweetie Drops learned about this, she was very much devastated herself about hearing of this ever happened. But she was even more devastated that she heard that Violet Wins perhaps was going back to Manhattan to his parents, to his own place. She was devastated because even they was not decided if he was going to move back home. But she wanted to at least tell him about this before even he moved. She wanted to tell him. So she went up to his home, knocked on the door, and asked if they could talk. And he said, "Oh, Sweetie Drops, this is you. Well, come in." And she walked in, and he asked, "Do you want something to drink? Tea? Water? Anything?" "Tea would be nice." "Alright." So he went back into the kitchen to bring some tea from both. "So, what you were talking about?" "Well, first I was saying that I'm very much sorry about what happened about your date, or the marriage you did. No one should even do that to you. I mean, you were very talented in music, you were very talented in singing, and you were very compassion in almost anything. You're always there to help. But no, no one, you should not be treated like that. And Violet Winds didn't say much. He was just still silent as before. I would never do that to you, because if I love you so much, I would never do it. And Violet Winds was still quiet. And I heard that you might even move back to Manhattan. Is that even true? And Violet Winds took a sip from the tea and looked at her and said, perhaps, but I haven't even considered the decide yet. But perhaps I will decide that over the next few days if I want to go move back. But from now I had no idea. Perhaps, likely, it will happen. But why? I mean, you have a lot many friends here. You have a good work here, and is that even worth to leave all this behind? Just because what happened with the mayor? And Violet Winds was quiet, because he didn't know exactly what to explain to her. Perhaps that is the only reason. I know that I have many much great friends here, and they all care about me, what happened, but I don't know. It feels like I almost lost the passion in anything here in town. So perhaps it's time for me to move back home. Perhaps I will find someone that married there instead. But no, please don't move. Why? It's no point for me to stay here. I will always be heartbroken every time I walking around see her with her new stallion boyfriend. I always feel the compassion. I always feel like heartbroken every time I see her, said Violet Winds. He was starting to get a little bit angry about just thinking about it. Please don't leave, because I love you. Violet Winds didn't know exactly how to say it, and just you are kidding me right now, aren't you? Tell me just something to cheer me up. No, it's true. I do love you. I love you for 2 years. I was just terrified not to say it to you. I was too shy. And especially now when I heard of the rumors that you might leave, I was terrified about it. I wanted to tell you even before you even decided to move. But even if you don't believe me, but it's true. And I don't know what to say except if you don't even believe me all this, but it is true, I do love you. And Violet wins to see that she started to cry, but he didn't know what to say except I'm sorry, I don't want what to say. Well, if you don't believe me, perhaps it is best for you to move then, said Sweetie Drops, then just put her cup down and just left. She ran all the way back home. When she arrived home, Lyra was there, practicing on her lyre, and she saw that Sweetie Drops was crying, and she asked, "Oh, is Sweetie Drops something wrong?" No. Well, I told him right now how I felt. Lyra did know about that Sweet Drops was in love with Violet Winds. And now that she knows that Violet Sweet Drops had told him. And how did it go? Not what I expect. He said he didn't know what to say, and I just told him, well, the best you move back home then. And I just ran away. And Lyra didn't know exactly what to say except, Sweet Drops, are you mad? You have been in love with him for 2 years, and then now this? Are you willing to give it up for your chance to be with him? Even you told him about it? Violet went. Sweetdrop didn't know exactly what to say except perhaps, perhaps it's best for it, and she went up to her room. The next few days afterwards, Sweetdrops wasn't home by then when she heard Lyra was back home. But then she heard a knock on the door. It was actually Violet Wins. Oh, hi Violet. What brings you here? I need to talk to you about Sweetdrops. Oh, well, she isn't home right now, but come in. You want something? Tea, water, lemonade, cider? Just water for me, please. Okay. Violet Wins and Lyra talked about each other, about what used to happen a few days ago. I still don't know how to react about that. Sweetdrops told me that she loved me, but is it even true that she loves me? And Lyra just said to him, yeah, it is true. She explained it to me as well. And I had never seen her so heartbroken after when she told her that when you told her that when she told you. And Violet winced. Didn't know what to say except perhaps it's time for me to tell her. Tell her what? For the last few days I actually started to feel the same thing for her as well, but I'm not sure if she wanted me back or want me after what I told her. Are you even going back to Mainhaven? No, I'm staying right here where I feel I belong most. I know at first I said to her that I might move back home, but at the same time, why? I have a great home here, great friends, a great job, but now I am feeling in love with her, and I don't know what to say except I just want to say, I love you, Sweetdrops. I love you more than anything in the entire world. And then Violet Wins looked at Lyra, and Lyra, is something wrong? And she just pointed at the door. And he turned around, and there she stood. Sweetdrop stood at the door. She had heard everything that he had said to Lyra. She was actually crying. Is that true? Violet Wins? She said. And Violet Wins just left the couch and walked up to her and said, yes, it is true, Violet Sweetdrops. At first I didn't know how to believe, but when you said it was a lie or a truth, I didn't know. And Lyra explained later that it was true, and I do love you. I love you more than anything in the entire quest. And would you like to go out with me tonight? And Lyra Sweetdrops just guessed and suddenly kissed him. And Lyra, what did she do? She only do what she do the most. She smiled and she was just happy to see two of her friends was actually happy to be with each other. Violet Wins and Sweetdrops went to a local dance club that night, and they both had a very much an accident night. Violet Wins was actually more surprised that Sweetdrops were very much good talent in dancing. And he had learned a few times dancing when he was a little bit younger, but he hasn't danced in years. But both of them had very much a good time with it. And just a few months later, Violet winced and actually proposed to Sweetdrops, and she actually said yes. The wedding was held in Canterlot a few months later, and Lyra was actually Swerdrop's best mare or bridesmaid, while Discord had been asked to be Violet Wind's best man. And even Rarity and Galaxy Star was those who made the suit and the dress for the wedding couple. And both of them was very happy for this big day. Even Violet Winds was a little bit nervous, but Discord instead used them. Don't be nervous, man. Don't nervous. You always be here with her. You love her, right? Yeah, I do. Then you're alright. Don't be so nervous. You'll handle it. And he said just back to her, to Discord. Thank Discord. I needed to hear that. And after this wedding, they went to Las Pegasus for their honeymoon for 3 whole weeks. And 3 years later, Sweetdrops told Violet Winds that they were going to be parents to a daughter. And even then, Violet Winds was very much looking forward to be a father. And more surprised to them, they had a daughter, but she was a unicorn. But they wondered, how could she be a unicorn? None of them was a unicorn. But then Violet explained to her that his great 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 grandmother was a unicorn. And that explained much to her, and they named her Glitter Drop. And Glitter Drops actually both had inherited her mother's passion in baking and also her father's passion in music. But she decided to become a baker when she was older, which she did. And at some point in her life, she got married with another baker in town, and they had 5 daughters of their own. And that's how Sway Drops and Violet Winds found a true love and got a family. The end.